Hi, it's me. This is the Mogi where I got CD Platinum. So yeah, I wanted to commentate it. So my partner here was Lewis, who's pretty good. This I think this happened like maybe 3 days ago. Anyways, we start on slot circuit, and since I'm somewhere in the back, I'm looking to get a dodge, like a star or something. Oh, and then I get bumped off here. But at least it's only like 20 seconds in, so I could go for the shock. I think my teammates in first because of the me head on the mini map. So on custom tracks, you're allowed to turn on me heads so you can see what spot your teammate's in. So I always make sure to memorize my partner's me head. But yeah, I'm pretty sure that's my teammate in first. So my plan here, I kind of want to try to get the shock in 11th because it's not really worth begging any more than that. And if I can get it in 11, then I'll just cancel a blue if my teammate gets blued. But I didn't get the shock, so here I'm just going to golden up to try and catch up while that person in last, I think that person in last is Pond King or Pond Hero. It's a Pond me. I'm not sure. Oh, my teammate got blued, which kind of sucks. But yeah, based on who's in last, I can try and predict when they're going to use a shock. And then that's sort of my game plan here. Because this track, slot circuit, doesn't really have any shortcuts. Okay, so there's a shock at 130. It makes sense for it to come there because the pack is kind of getting spread out. And the two people in last were a little bit far back. Oh, I just saw the me. It's DFC Akira, so it's not Pawn something. But I swear there's a me that's like Pond Hero that looks kind of like it. But yeah, now I have a star. So I think the move is to try and predict a second shock. Because the first one happened at 130, you can get the shock now. Because a shock is in play every 30 seconds. So, now they might get it this set. This is the first set they can get it. And usually people chain a shock. So they'll use it right before an item set so they can get like an item box right after. And pass a bunch of people. But yeah, now I'm looking back to try and figure out what spots people are in. So I see A is in last, and that's their teammate in a bullet bill. But they would have spammed it immediately, and I kind of didn't react in time. So the fact that they didn't use it there means that they don't have the shock yet. But maybe they got it like that item set right there. And they did, and they used it here. Because, yeah, if they pull the shock, they're either going to use it second to last set, which was the set that I just passed, or the set right here, which is last set. But I banked on it being the second to last set, and even if they didn't use it then, I got a star anyways, which is pretty lucky. But yeah, I managed to dodge up and pass everyone. I just had a star in first, and I don't really know where my teammate is, so I just cross. Yeah, so not a bad race. And then this track. Now this is my favorite track, Rush City Run. So I'm going to try to run it because there aren't that many shortcuts here either. But there is comeback potential because there's one spot where the shock always comes. There's like a shortcut at the end that's shroomless, and you can't take it if you're shocked. So a lot of times people will just shock there so that nobody can take the cut shroomless except for the people who dodge or the people who resize in time. And then yeah, because this shortcut right here, this saves like 2 seconds or something. So if you shock there, then everybody loses time except for you, and you get to pass everyone. So yeah, so far so good. I'm able to just run it up. I think, yeah, my teammate's in third, so I'm not going to back any items. Usually I would back, there's like a good back spot there with that Nana. You see I almost hit it. And then some of these turns are pretty blind. Like this turn's pretty good for backing. Oh, I got a little bit too low of a trick there, so I lost a little bit of time. But I think I had a big enough of a break that I'm fine. Yeah, and I think my teammate's no longer... Yeah, teammate's not in third anymore, so now I'm free to back spam items. I don't know if I do. Let's see. Oh no, my teammate's there again. Yeah, I didn't back. So yeah, I got to run another lap, which is pretty nice. But here's a blue, so I want to stop at the item set, that way I can get an item. In case like someone tries to combo me, or like I'm gonna lose spots anyways, so it's better to just have an item. But here, I got the shotgun 11th, which I wasn't expecting at all. I thought somebody would have had it. So now I want to use it at the shock spot, and my teammate, he just got thunderclouded, so he's like small, and this is gonna be perfect if I use it right here, because then nobody can take the shortcut, but people who dodge, and also my teammates behind me, so he'll be able to take the shortcut. And yeah, you see, everybody uses their dodges there because that's always where the shot comes, because that's just such a good spot to use it. And I chained mushrooms, which is pretty nice, because I think Akira dodged in a bill, so he didn't have any items. And yeah, I'm just able to take shortcuts. That was a pretty good fib snipe attempt, but I landed a little bit far. So yeah, 1-3 is pretty big. Now this track here is really short. I'm not the fastest at driving it, because I don't really know how to. So you see immediately DFC instantly outlines me. But my teammate, I think, is pretty good at this track. So yeah, I'm fine with him just being in front. This way I can try and back spam as much as I can so that I can build us a lead. And even if my back spams don't hit, it forces people to take different lines to avoid them, which loses a bit of time. And on a track this short, like it's already lap 2 and it's like, it was like 20 seconds or something. But yeah, it just, see, by backing everything, it builds us a lead. And I was a little bit too aggressive there because I almost got redded. But I think that's fine because this way I can have my teammate running and maybe I can like stay behind and dodge. That way we have 2 different ways we can win. But yeah, there I just accidentally hit the off-road because I went too wide. And then that shock was really good for me actually because I'm right before the item set. I pull a star, which isn't the best. It doesn't give you much speed, but it's also not terrible because a lot of people in front of me didn't have items, so I managed to pass like one person, so I guess it wasn't that good. But my teammate got first. So yeah, right now, we're doing great. Like, we're 10 up on second, and second is 11 up on third. And I remember before this mogi, I did the calculations to check what place I needed to get plat, because I think I was just like less than 100 away from platinum, and yeah, I remember checking if I got third, would I get enough, and I would, because a lot of people in this room are like, I think there might be like someone who's master or like grandmaster, and there's also like people who are diamond, ruby, emerald, which is all above platinum. So a lot of people here are ranked higher than me. Yeah, so because of that, I can get third and I'll gain a good amount for it. Yeah, I think my teammate was also ranked like medium to below average compared to everybody else in this room. So yeah, this was just set up really nicely for us because we didn't even need to do that well for me to get plat. Yeah, this is Big Express City. I'm just trying to stay near the front because I know the pack gets split sometimes. It's a 1-lap track, and there's some shortcuts at the end, and I want to say a lot of times the shock will come at the end, and then the people who dodge or the people who get mushrooms will end up taking the shortcuts and they'll do well. But there was an early shock there. I think it came at like 110 or something. So yeah, I'm just keeping that in mind so that I can maybe play around the next shock, which should be available at like 140. So here my teammate and I are mid spots. He gets a TC, which kind of sucks. But I got trip shrooms, which is pretty good because now I can take all the shortcuts. So my goal here is to just hold on to these, because there is also a chance that the second shock doesn't come. Because this set, you can pull the shock, and then there's another set of items, and then there's one more. So I want to say the odds are like in favor of there being a shock, but there is still a pretty good chance that there won't be a shock. Like it's probably 60-40 or something, with 60% being a shock. But either way, some people might be holding dodges, so maybe they're not even going to go for a box, or I don't know, maybe they'll hold it for their teammate. So there's a good chance that shock won't get used. So there I took one of the shortcuts, and now I'm just praying there's no second shock, and I should be able to take this ending shortcut. At the time, I thought I might be able to pass second, but yeah, I didn't. It wasn't that close. But yeah, there was no shock, so I ended up doing well. And if there was a shock, maybe my teammate who was near the back would have been able to get like a dodge or something, and the shock might have been favorable for him. But yeah, that table is looking really good for us right now. A lot of times I want to play so that if my teammate loses, then I win, and if I lose, my teammate wins. What I mean by that is, if my teammate's like in the front, I'll try to be in the back and maybe play around the shock, because the shock usually screws over a lot of people in the front. And then that way, if my teammate gets screwed over, I might not get screwed over. Okay, there I drifted the wrong way. Yeah, so it looked kind of dumb because I just like drove off. But yeah, I don't think this is that good because I think both my teammate and I are near the back. Or no, my teammate's up there. But yeah, now I just need to catch up because I kind of drove off in like a bottom spot. Oh, I really wanted an item there, and that I want to say that's worth it because that guy in last, Biscuiteer, just fell off. And the fact that I have a bullet bill means it's more likely to pull the shock. And if they pull the shock, if I were them, I would use the shock pretty instantly, just because I need to catch up, or they need to catch up from last. But unfortunately, no shock. Almost hit the zapper. But I'm in a much better spot. Like, even though there's no shock, that bill did so much for me. And now there's a leaf pile there that gives a star sometimes. There was no star, unfortunately, and I got target shocked, which kind of sucked. But, oh, it looks like that shock, my teammate might have also gotten target shocked. So overall, that shock was just not that good for us. But it's not over yet. There's a shortcut at the end that's kind of hard to do. Yeah, my teammate might have failed it or something. Because it saves a good amount of time. There's like a shroomless shortcut, but it's kind of risky, and if you fall off, you lose a lot of time. And yeah, 2 people seem to have fallen off somehow, so I ended up getting 2 points, which pretty good salvage. The table is we're still in first, but we're now tied. And see, I was never really expecting to get first here because I know, like, even though we had a really good GP1, I know there are a lot of other teams that are just ranked much higher, so they have, they're definitely more favored to win. So there, I wanted to get a box, try to get a dodge. A lot of times my game plan is to just try to predict the shock or find a way to like come back at the end of a race. Or just be able to try and find a way to break to the front. Because a lot of times running won't be that effective for me, just because a lot of people are more experienced at driving tracks, they're more experienced at back spamming items, at being able to get people out of top spots. So a much safer way to play is to just try and find a way to break into the front at some point when it matters. So right now it's still the beginning. Being in the front isn't, like, it can be pretty good, especially on this track. This track is a running track for sure. But like there's still blue shells, and then like there might be an early shock. So it's not guaranteed that you get first, even if you're in first right now. Yeah, this pack is pretty close. I think I just want to chain for it'll be a better item. But yeah, the shock comes there, which is really good, because I didn't expect it to come there. I stopped there wanting to get like a dodge, but the shock ended up coming. So I just had to, so I was right before the boxes, which was perfect. Now I get a star here. It's pretty important I get a box this last set, but I think I was too focused on dodging the red to get a box. And yeah, if I got mushrooms there, shrooming up at the end here saves a good amount of time. But I'm still in 6th, which is not that bad. This is definitely one of my worst tracks by far. So yeah, I'll take 8th out of that for sure. But yeah, teammate and I are definitely struggling this GP. First is Akira and Ozzy. Yeah, they definitely had a good race, so now they're up a little bit. But again, we're still chilling in 2nd. It's not that bad because as long as I get 3rd, I get plat. So there, I want to dodge because this track has a lot of shortcuts. So So there's a lot of comeback potential. So even if you're like up there, people can always catch up to you. So because of that, I want to try and maximize the value I get from this star. I'm thinking of chaining it next lap. That way, if a shock comes, I'll dodge it and I'll have an other item to use for the shortcuts. Yeah, these greens are kind of scary. Just being a little cautious here. Yeah, okay, so now I'm going to use it here just in case a shock comes, because there might be a shock. The pack's really spread out, but that's actually not that bad for this track. Now, because no shock came, I got another star, so I'm thinking why not just do the same thing. So I do that. And here I get to take a shortcut with it too, but no shock yet. And this is kind of dumb. I wanted a box, but I like planned that really badly because I aimed for a spot where there was no boxes, and I kind of just hoped that it would spawn. But yeah, I didn't get a box. And then here, I got triple mushrooms, which is not the best because if I get shocked after the boxes here, I'm kind of screwed. So yeah, nobody has shock. That guy stopped there. Maybe they pulled it because they got a box in 12. So I build there just hoping that they might get shock and then chain it at the set. But yeah, they also had some sort of power item because they tried to take the shortcut. And here, yeah, we're in bottom spots and it doesn't look like there's going to be a shock. Oh yeah, this is also not the best race. I think my mistake here might have been playing too much around the shock. I maybe should have paid attention more to where my teammate was. That way I could try and get up there in case it's shockless. But yeah. Anyways, now this is Pipe Underworld. This is a pretty hard track, but I think it's one of my better tracks compared to like other tracks. And I say that as I don't get a box in 10th. But yeah, this is still fine because I'm in the back, so I'm playing around the shock here. I get a star, which is pretty good. Usually the shock comes... Okay, so this is a 2v2, right? So the shock usually comes in the cannon. That way the person who has the shock can try and dodge their teammate in the cannon. And I see player is pretty far back there, so I'm thinking maybe next lap or something they'll dodge their teammate in the cannon. So that's what I'm holding this for. But at the same time, there's also a shortcut that loses... or that saves a good amount of time, and you lose quite a bit of time going around it. If you see on the mini-map, it's just to the left there. Yeah, I think I last second just decided to just use it here because, yeah, player was so far behind looking at the mini-map, so I thought, you know what, there's a chance a shot comes here, and if it comes and I don't use my star, then I'll be in a pretty bad spot. So because of that, I took the shortcut in a star, just to avoid the chance of being in a bad position. And yeah, it worked out because the shot came there, and now the pack is kind of close again. So now here, yeah, those two people fail. So we're 2-3, which is pretty good because this is definitely a running track. Despite that shortcut, which saves a good amount of time, the rest of the track is all, there aren't that many shortcuts. So here I just want to stay in the front and hopefully hold this position. Yeah, I threw that red forward because I remember my teammate being in third. Yeah, but I think a red must have lagged past him. Now I want a mushroom. Yeah, another reason being in a top spot is good is that you can cycle for mushrooms. And that shortcut, you can do it with only one mushroom. Yeah, my teammate did it, but I think he got target shocked in it in the off-road, which kind of sucks. But yeah, you only need one mushroom to do it, which is why being in second is so nice on this track, because you cannot pull a thundercloud in second. You can in third, but you can in second. So I'm free to just chain items until I get a mushroom. But yeah, that shock seemed pretty good for me because nobody was able to take the shortcut. So because of that, I gained a few, or First and I, we got a break. And I think Finna-chan dodged the shock or maybe used the shock. They came up in a bill. So now we're kind of top 3 break. So I can pull a thundercloud. So I don't want to touch too many boxes, though having a mushroom would be huge. So I still really want to chance a mushroom because I might be able to get first or second if that happens. So yeah, here I go, try and get a mushroom. Do I get it? No, I don't. So yeah, now I just hold my items. Because third is still very solid. Still get 10 points. Yeah, and we have a break anyways, so maybe it was just the move to not chain for a box, because if I get a Thundercloud, I might get screwed, and my playstyle a lot of times is just trying to avoid things that will screw me over. But yeah, there's a shock, it's pretty neutral for me. I just go around the trick strat, just be safe, because I'm not really going to get a spot worse than third, unless I mess up. But yeah, I got third, which is pretty huge. So I think Finachantag might have had a really good race. But yeah, we're in third now, and there's a bit of separation between us and second, and also fourth. So this is not a bad spot to be at all. Pulling that golden there is pretty big. There's one shortcut here. It's also a one shroomer. It's kind of similar to Pipe Underworld, actually, except the shortcut is near the beginning. But yeah, my teammate got Thunderclouded, which kind of sucks. But again, oh shit. This shortcut, there's a shortcut here that saves a good amount of time, and it's only lap 1. So yeah, we're all good. So here I take the shortcut, not very elegantly, but I do take it. And now I just want to try and run up. Hopefully I can back spam and maybe like build a little break, because on Pipe Underworld that was pretty good where we just top 3 just ran. So I'm hoping to maybe do something similar. Though this track, the shock plays a pretty important role here, because like the shock usually comes the set before the shortcut, or maybe like a couple sets before it. That way people can get shrooms, and everybody who gets shocked without mushrooms won't be able to take the shortcut. So you see I had a mushroom there, I wanted to take the shortcut, but the shock came, so I couldn't take the shortcut. And because of that, the pack gets closer, which is what, as a shock user, you want to make the pack closer. That way you can get up to the front better. Yeah, as you can see, the pack is like a lot closer now, and people are taking the shortcut. It was my teammate who took the shortcut though, so that's huge. So now I want to try and make the pack spread out, because we're both in the top, like the front of the pack. If the pack becomes spread out, then that's really good for us, because we can maybe try and build a break. But unfortunately, he gets blued. So now A-Team is top 2, which is not good for us, because now the guy in second is probably going to just back everything. That way he can try and build a break for their team. Yeah, so there's a red back there. That's actually a good back red for me, because then I don't have to worry about the guy with the Thundercloud, and neither does my teammate. But yeah, here I just wanted to take really wide lines so I don't get hit. Because I had a mushroom, I was in a really good spot, because I can just take the shortcut and maybe get into first or second. But again, the shot came, because now people can't take the shortcut. But I got triple shrooms, which is huge. But then a POW came, and I really wanted to dodge it. I shroomed into the wall, maybe hoping to get like a little bit of air, but I kind of messed it up. So yeah, I went from being in a really good winning position to being in like a not bad position. I did get a golden though, which is pretty huge. I'm able to golden up. I almost get back bombed there. Thankfully I don't, though I do miss the draft. So yeah, somebody dies there, and this is actually a pretty good spot. And I got a mega, so if a shot comes, I won't be screwed, and I think my teammate's in front of me. So yeah, pretty good race. We got 4th and 7th. So we're up 9 on 4th and up 11 on 5th. So as long as we don't get any terrible races, we should be fine. I remember I was pretty nervous into this race, because like I never thought I could get CT Platinum. Like last season, I think the highest I ever got was CT Silver, and the season before that, I think it was CT Bronze. I don't remember, but yeah, I thought Gold was already like a stretch, so I was pretty happy with Gold. But then I realized I was pretty close to Platinum, just because I'm ranked really low in these high rooms. So like any spot that I get is just gains me a lot of like matchmaking points, a lot of MMR. So yeah, here I'm just trying to play pretty safe so that we don't get like a terrible race. Yeah, so holding these mushrooms. I go for a lot of mini turbos because that way you don't get like leg bumped as much. Like you saw there, I got wheelie bumped. But if you're going for mini turbos, then it gives you like a speed boost so that you can get ahead of people on their screen, and it forces people to space out. Like either you space out from the person in front of you or the person behind you will space out from you. But yeah, I got hit by red there. Didn't get to use my golden to boost up, but this is fine because I don't think a shock has happened yet. So yeah, that's what I'll try to play around here. You'll notice there's a pretty common theme of me playing around shocks. And that's because I think that like that works out pretty well for me. Because my driving isn't the best. I'm not the fastest player, but I do try to predict shocks. Or even if I don't predict them, I'll try to put myself in a situation where I'll benefit from a shock, or I'll just try and put myself in a winning position, which I guess everybody does. But yeah, here I got a star. I didn't want to take the shortcut because I know you get like a massive amount of air in a star, and having a star near the end is also kind of nice because now you get protection. You can't hit any like ground items. So yeah, the pack is pretty close here, and I get shock, which I did not expect at all. But then yeah, I hit the off-road, and then I like just barely clipped the bomb, and oh, I remember this moment felt so bad because I thought, this could be how I'm throwing my chance to get platinum. But yeah, my teammate got second. I think he might have dodged the shock. So even though I kind of messed up, yeah, it didn't matter that much. We're still up 9 on 4th and 13 on 5th. Or 14 on 5th. So yeah, this track is also a track where shock matters a good amount, because there's this massive shortcut that cuts off a good amount of the map, and it's like a 3-shroom cut. So yeah, this set here to the right, I didn't go for the cut, but there's like a massive shortcut to the right. On the mini map, you can see there are a lot of people taking it. So a lot of times the shock will come before that shortcut, so the shock user can try and get a power item to take the shortcut. I think you can take it in triple shrooms, golden star. I also think you can take it in a bullet bill, and you can take it in a mega. So yeah, the shock there is pretty valuable. So here I got a mega, so I'm thinking I'll try and predict it. Because there's that big shortcut, maybe I'll just take the shortcut in a mega, or maybe I'll chain my mega. Probably best if I chain my mega into the shortcut. That way I can maybe get shrooms. But yeah, the shock came a little bit early there, which I guess makes sense. The pack was a little bit spread out. And here, I want to get some shrooms, but yeah, the mushrooms didn't, or my item didn't come out in time for me to be able to hop in the shortcut. And I also figured it's not that bad if I go around, because now I can play around a second shock. Because if you get a star there, you can just chain into the set, and then you can just take the shortcut without having to use your item. But yeah, I got a golden, so I really want to fish for a star. Yeah, I have another box to try and get a star, or I actually have 2 more boxes. But here I get a golden, so this isn't really something I can get rid of. So now I'm just praying that there's no shock and I'm able to take the shortcut. So it's to the right here. I prepare to hop into it, so does Biscuit Tier. But yeah, the shock came. It's actually better that it came there instead of me being in the shortcut, because then that would be so bad if it got shocked in the shortcut and I just had to go through all the off-road. But yeah, now I got a star. Here, it was pretty crucial that I get that item set. But yeah, I missed it, which kind of sucked. But I think it ended up not mattering, because yeah, there's a pretty big gap between me and the person in front of me. So yeah, I might not have passed them anyways. But yeah, still a really good race, because my teammate, Lewis, is popping off right now. He's on 30 after 3 this GP, while I'm on like 11. So yeah, on the table you can see, I actually didn't really look at it, but we're still in 3rd. And I think we might be up on fourth like a tiny amount, like a decent amount. So yeah, as long as we beat the team in fourth, we should be fine here. So yeah, big surprise. I'm going to try and play around the shock again because I'm in the back. And I pulled a star too, which makes it even easier. So the shock spot on this set, again, is right before the shortcuts. So the pattern here is that the shock sets, people usually use their shocks before a shortcut. So the item box I just passed is the shock spot. Because I'm taking this upper route here, but you can see people below me are taking shortcuts. And just that last turn is pretty hard to do if you get shocked, because there's a boost panel, and you can't make it the full way if you're like small. But yeah, I ran into a fib, which is kind of bad, because I was up there with a star, but now I'm only in like the mid pack with a star. So I guess it's actually not that bad, because now I can get a better item when I chain. And I think there's also a better chance I'll dodge too, because now I'm closer to last. So when I chain my star into this item set here, yeah, they might just chain the shock into this item set. Which they do. I think that was my teammate's shock actually. So yeah, you can see I took all those shortcuts, and then people who were small, that guy went back for a shroom, which kind of saved him. But yeah, now I have a single shroom. I'm thinking I can run this up, maybe first we'll take a blue, or if not, I can just take a shortcut at the end. But then I realized second was a little bit close to me, so I wanted to get space, but they had a red, so yeah, that kind of sucked. But good thing is I got redded right before these boxes up here, and I pulled triple shrooms, which is really lucky, because now I can take all the shortcuts. Like, triple shrooms is kind of the perfect item there. I think the odds of getting a triple getting triple shrooms is also pretty high in 7. So yeah, I'm just shrooming through the grass at the end. A shock came there, which almost killed me, but thankfully it didn't. And my teammate also got a bill, and he dodged up in the bill. And yeah, we get 5-6, which is definitely enough to secure third. You can see here, final results, I got platinum. Let's go!